Welcome back to the Business of Government magazine, a special edition of the Business of Government Hour. Over the last 6 months, I've had an opportunity to speak with public servants pursuing innovative approaches to mission achievement and citizen services. These government executives provide insights into how they are changing the way government does business. The provision of health services is a critical and significant mission within each branch of the U.S. military, as well as an integral part of the U.S. Department of Defense's military health system. Dave Bowen, Chief Information Officer at the newly created Defense Health Agency, shares his insights on its creation.
We're really a global healthcare system and very unique in a number of ways in which I'll discuss. We're comprised of both direct care provided in over 400 military treatment facilities, hospitals, clinics, what have you, and also care purchased through our health plan using civilian providers and institutions. Our budget in fiscal 13 is $50 billion. It's the Unified Medical Program and supports the physical and mental health care of over 9.6 million patients worldwide. Today, approximately 230,000 MHS users depend on information technology services delivered through several defense organizations. We stood up the Defense Health Agency. It came into being on October 1. The TRICARE organization went away, became part of or morphed into the Defense Health Agency. And as a part of the stand-up of the DHA, we consolidated a number of sort of back-office services, if you will, into shared services models. And they include our facility services, our health plan operational services, our logistics services, and our IT. So under the IT directorate, each health IT business process will be aligned to a leader in the directorate, reflecting our commitment to ownership and accountability. We're basically consolidating the health IT component of all of the military services. Under the direction of the Health IT Director, which is me, we will take the service CIOs, our chief medical officers, and operational service leads and use them to maintain current operations and delivery to the services, and at the same time support the stand-up of the new Health IT organization, oversee the stepwise transition of the remaining IT functions. So basically, the end result will be an enterprise-wide integrated IT environment with standardized infrastructure and applications down to the desktop level, basically to our user fingertips.
The DHA relies on information and technology to carry out its mission and also meet DoD's quadruple aim. Dave Bowen, DHA CIO, explains.
We operate on an overall mission for the military health system that we call quadruple aim. Basically, there are 4 pillars to the mission. And the 4 pillars of the quadruple aim include readiness, which means being able to field what we call a medically ready force and be able to deliver healthcare anytime, anywhere in the world in support of the full range of military operations and including humanitarian missions. So that's the readiness component. The second component of the strategy is better health, and we want to reduce the number of healthcare visits to our direct care system by our service members by encouraging them to promote better health. The things like smoking cessation, weight control, these things. And we have this tagline we kind of use to describe that says we're moving from healthcare to health. The third component of the strategy is better care. And then finally, which is where we're focusing a lot of our attention, better efficiencies and lower cost. We need to create value by focusing on quality, eliminating waste, and reducing unwanted variation.
Bowen admits he faces significant challenges, the high cost to support and maintain current systems, and his need to transition to new, more modern systems to save money.
Back to the cost element, we run a very high budget. Our budget is almost about 10% of the total budget of the Department of Defense. That is the total defense health program and all the care that we provide. So very strong emphasis on cost control and cost reduction. Another factor that is a challenge for us is as our service members seek care outside of our direct care system, they go to commercial providers through the health plan. There are lots of different systems out there, and trying to get data back from them continues to be a challenge. And then finally, how do we sort of replace our current systems, which the Department of Defense has decided to undertake, and how do we fund that replacement? How do we make a selection? How do we deploy a new system across as I said, 400 care sites in our direct care system alone. So those are some of our major challenges.
In an era of fiscal constraint, it's critical that agency leaders keep the workforce motivated to meet mission. Bowen offers his advice.
I would respond to that with 3 words, and that is communicate, communicate, communicate. You certainly can't communicate enough these days. As we said, we've got a far-flung operation, and getting information out and feedback back from the very far reaches of our organization continues to be a challenge. Matter of fact, I just had this discussion with my leadership team to make sure that we're trying to purposely reach out and touch all those people that are all across the world and make sure that they know sort of what the DHA is doing, what does it mean for them, sort of where we're going, what we hope to accomplish, and how they fit into that picture. So that's a challenge. And I would tell you that if we can do that well, we will continue to have a motivated workforce, despite the fact that we've got very challenging economic times. As you.
The Office of Integrated Technology Services, ITS, in the General Services Administration has positioned itself as a facilitator and enabler of IT savings in the government. Mary Davie, who leads the office, highlights its strategic priorities.
We've got 3: delivering efficient operations, driving world-class value, and being agile and innovative. For years, we were very, focused on contracts in some respects. And because of the government needs and the landscape and the way things have changed, it's been clear over the last several years that this needs to be about what the customers need and how they can best utilize common solutions across agencies. So in terms of efficient operations, I'm turning ITS into a customer-focused model. So customers may have seen people from GSA in the past, come and we'll talk about a GWAC and what that can do, or a schedule, or what our network services program can do. And we're really flipping that model. And that's across FAS. We need to be the best in delivering whatever it is we're going to deliver. The second one is the world-class value. Today, because federal buying is so fragmented, there's so many, tens of thousands, if probably not hundreds of thousands of transactions that go on to buy. What can we provide to agencies to improve the buying power and to make better buying decisions? And then really the third area, being agile and innovative, it's being ahead of the market, we say. So, I talked about skating to where the puck is going and anticipating if we see a movement, and a shift toward cloud, how do we need to start revamping our contracts and our solutions to help meet those needs more quickly? What kind of changes will we need to make to existing contracts, or do we in fact need to build a new contract?
Giving federal agencies the ability through contract solutions to get where they need to be presents many challenges.
So I think some of our biggest challenges are, technology is so fast-paced and changes very quickly. And it really is trying to ensure that the acquisitions that we put in place and the acquisition process, what I say, mirrors that technology environment. How do we create an effective acquisition process that enables people to buy what they need as quickly as things change?
Many agencies actually face reduced or flat IT spending, yet their missions continue to grow and demands continue to expand. Mary Davie, Assistant Commissioner of the Office of Integrated Technology Services within GSA, offers a winning formula for smarter IT spending.
It really comes down to, I think, a few key things. One is the governance and program management around that. And that's, again, strategically looking at where the agency's priorities are, how their budget's getting allocated, what the big projects and challenges they may have in front of them, making sure that there's governance, not only within the agency, but sometimes it has to go outside the agency, and OMB tends to help and really make sure that some of the more highly visible projects are being executed, time, budget, resources, things like that. And I think that's really important, and the collaboration across government. Strategic sourcing helps solve a lot of that. If we come together, jointly define requirements, and believe me, it's not just that simple. But if there's a common solution that can be put in place that's going to solve most of a need for something like, a wireless plan, for instance, but we really can aggregate, leverage our volume, and get true discounts and savings, which then agencies can use to put somewhere else, toward a more mission-critical need. We've got to continue to push that and push further. And I think we're seeing a lot of appetite for that. So that's really encouraging. And then, shared services is another area where agencies are starting to look at environments, for things like payroll or HR. And we don't, again, all need to be replicating different systems and services there. So if somebody wants to take that on and be the lead, and we've seen that with a lot of the agencies, and be the payroll provider or the HR systems provider, I think for those kind of, back-end base systems and processes, that's the way to go. So there's a lot that we can do, a lot that is going on, and we are seeing, a shift which has over time, I think we'll see even more of that.